What's going on, everybody? Coach Stefan here. This is Amanda. She was so gracious to jump on and do an interview with us. So this is really just a casual conversation of her experience with Pursuit and kind of working with her coach and diving in. So Amanda, would you mind just kind of introducing yourself and letting people know what you do for work and give a little background?
Absolutely. So my name is Amanda. I am a teacher here in Arizona. And yeah, I've been with Pursuit now since July. So
Yeah. So it's coming up, well, March, April, May, June, July. So about 8 months.
yeah,
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, we have an in-person division. It's a little smaller. We're mostly online, but we have a gym, kind of a headquarters that we train out in Gilbert, Arizona, where we live. And Amanda's been working there doing the hybrid training with Coach Riley, which is kind of a mix of the in-person and online. And then she actually made such good progress that her husband ended up joining and then joining with Coach Mike. So now they're kind of both in it. So you could give a really good perspective of what it's been like. When you first came, and I know maybe just we have a lot in our minds, try to rewind 8 months ago. What were some of your goals coming in the program when we first chatted that you wanted to achieve?
some of my goals were really just my previous fitness program wasn't working. And so I was just ultimately trying to find something that better suited my body and my mental health, all of the things. And I definitely needed to lose body fat. I needed to lose weight. But ultimately, like my biggest goal is I just wanted to feel better and I wanted to feel more like myself again.
Yeah. Yeah. So in the last 8 months, what do you feel like that shift has been? I mean, maybe I would love to know some of the metrics you've hit too, if you don't mind sharing those, if you feel comfortable. But
Yeah.
what has that shift been in 8 months? Because I know you've been working, you've been putting in the work and doing what you're supposed to do.
The shift for me has been something I don't want to say slow and steady, but truly like that's really been kind of my goal is that I want it to be something that is maintainable and that, I can continue to do and maintain and not just this like fast and furious
Yep.
approach. So I am almost, or I'm like right at my 20-pound mark that I've lost. I think I was just trying to pull it up. I've
Okay.
definitely lost a decent amount of body fat for sure. I know we that was kind of one of our big focus points was trying to get under a certain amount. So I think I'm trying to think where we started here.
Well, while you're looking that up too, I know that another one of your goals too, at least with which Coach Riley shared with me, is you getting stronger.
mhm.
Feel like your strength has increased?
100%. Yes. I mean, I'm one of the beauty of the hybrid is that, I get to try things and different, gym equipment that I probably wouldn't have been comfortable trying on my own.
Yeah.
And so just that aspect alone of, we're going to try this lift this way. You may have heard about it this way, but we're going to try this. And, my strength has definitely increased. It's nice to be able to look back at where we started
Yeah.
and then what I've been able to accomplish thus far. I know like when we started I had severe shoulder pain from just overuse and under taken care of, and I don't think I could do a single push-up from even my knees. And now like I'm up to at least 20 push-ups from my toes. And
Wow.
just some of those things I can immensely tell a difference in just strength wise.
Yeah. And I'm
And then
glad
I
you,
was able to pull it up, and it's about 7 to 8% body fat down. So
wow. Yeah. So 8 months, 7 to 8%, which is really good because, according to American College of Sports Medicine, which they kind of make the guidelines on a lot of like exercise stuff in college, and about 1% per month is really good. So you've been on really good progress. And it's not like you had this exorbitant amount of weight to lose, right? Like you wanted to get toned up and
yeah,
tighten things up and, around 20 pounds down. And the shoulder thing, I'm glad you brought that up because that just is a testament to, I think, Coach Riley and the expertise of our coaches is having somebody come in and they're not like, oh, well, we just want to do your shoulders. Like we know how
right.
the body works. I mean, I know you're there with Coach Mike and Coach Riley, and they understand anatomy and how to get the shoulder better and how to create more space in the joint and do those things through the programming. So not only did you have really good body composition changes, but your performance and then a little bit of rehab too. So you kind of have a little bit of 360 approach to your training.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, yeah, the little things have been huge.
yeah. How do you feel like, this has impacted you? Because you got a family, you're married, you got kids, you're a teacher, like busy life. How do you feel like your energy and like lifestyle and confidence, like how's that improved since making these results?
I feel like when you look better, you feel better.
Yeah.
And that impacts your energy, your relationships, everything. And so, it's been a full 360. I like my work family has noticed a change. It's impacted, just my work relationship as well. Like, we encourage each other. We're talking about what we have done. We share nutrition tips. And so, all of the things that, we have been implementing have then been spread out and impacting, all of the people that I love and care about as well.
Yeah. That's so cool. And that makes me really happy to hear that because I've been doing these interviews all week and a lot of what I've heard is like, oh, I got in shape and my husband's asking or my kids are asking or yeah, at work they're asking. And I feel like I kind of know enough to like help them. Like maybe not like their coach, but like I'm telling this thing and then this person did what I told them and they lost 10 pounds. I'm like, beautiful. I mean, that's what we want, right? As coaches and for our company, we want to help as many people as possible. And I'm curious, what's your experience been like as far as like using the app and the nutrition? Because obviously we are mostly online. It's about 95% of our clients. You're a little luckier because you got to see your coach also in person, but how's that experience been outside the gym using the app with like the training and the nutrition?
The app is super easy and user friendly. I the way my program is set up is, my workouts are dropped and I can see, I can program them. The nice part that I really like is the flexibility. So if something does come up in our life and I'm like, I can't get to the gym on Monday, but I'm going to move my workout to Tuesday, I can do all of those things. I have that flexibility through the app.
Yeah.
Um, Inputting my nutrition has been fine. Tracking was something that I was hesitant about. It wasn't something that I was like, okay, this is just not something that I think I can maintain long term. But it once you kind of start and you then just kind of know, it becomes okay. I know what 6 ounces of meat looks like now, and I know what I need to
Yeah.
have at every meal. I need to make sure that this is on my plate and that I'm making these shifts and changes. So even if it's not something that I'm inputting straight away, I've noticed those changes. I'm able to kind of identify and do it now that I have been tracking.
Yeah.
So as far as the app and all of that, it's very easy. We've been Coach Riley and I have been kind of in a reverse diet lately. And so, any of those changes and it's, oh, I'm updating your nutrition. I see those notifications. It's things that I can go in then and tweak on my end. And it's been very smooth and easy.
Yeah. That's awesome. What about what about just like the overall customer service and communication? Like hopefully you say good things, but it's okay if not. I mean, how do you feel like that's been from in the last 8 months from like the start to working with your coach now?
I feel like my coach and I have had a wonderful relationship from the start. It's been very open. We both have busy lives, and being a hybrid, brings up some of those challenges where, hey, like we're going on a trip or we're doing this, and trying to be able to manipulate schedules that meets both of our
Mhm.
needs on those times.
Yeah.
But I have nothing but amazing things to say about my experience with Coach Riley. Anytime that we need to shift or adjust workouts, it's been able to do that. We communicate through the app a lot, and just little things from like, hey, I like there's this quote and I thought of you, or just little things like I made this decision and like I just want to thank you. So all of
Yeah.
those tips, the support and the push and just recognizing of efforts, I think has also been really nice. Sometimes, you know, I don't realize the small things, as now that
Yeah.
I have been in it for 8 months, I don't always recognize the little shifts,
Yeah.
but Coach Riley does. And so then when she's like, wait, here, we look at this. And then I'm like, you're right. And so I think that's been wonderful as well.
Yeah. I mean, the best way that I can describe it is you're building like a collaborative relationship with your coach. And it's super, to me, that's very powerful. I think some people go, just tell me what to eat and give me an exercise program. And I'm like, Yeah, I mean, for some people, maybe that's all they need, but I would argue that having somebody that like has your back that can recognize those wins, because your fitness journey is more mental and emotional than it is physical for sure. For me too. And I know that if I can have somebody in my corner that's like, no, you did good, and like kind of encouraging you and like keeping that momentum going, it's a huge shift. Because I see people all the time that like they should go follow a program and it's a good program on paper, but I'm like, but why aren't you consistent? Why are you yo-yo? Why are, and it's a combination of maybe not having the tools of like knowing how to mold and adjust. Cause I actually, the fact that you said, hey, this program's kind of moldable and adaptable, as you can imagine, we work with a tons of first responders, families, all that. Yeah, you need to have it. And I think the app, and I use it every day for my working out. Same thing. I'm like, oh, I don't know. Like my son got sick and okay, I'm going to move it here, but I can still stay consistent. So it's flexible boundaries, right? It's not like, oh, I'm not going to do it. It's like, hey, I still need to like hold myself accountable. Maybe I can't get it in. There's some weeks, right? But for the most part, like, how can I move that and still make it work versus maybe the old version would be like, I'm busy, I'll do it next week, right? And then you miss a workout and it adds up. Um,
Exactly.
and you had such good progress that your husband decided to kind of join and go with Coach Mike. Walk me through that. What I'm kind of curious, what sparked him to be like, all right, I should probably do something.
Yeah. I think for me starting this journey was kind of always like a hope that, it would be something that he would also want to jump on board with. And I think he saw my success and he saw, that I don't want to say that the program was easy, but it
Yeah.
worked for our lifestyle.
Mhm.
It was manageable and it was something that, didn't involve this huge lifestyle shift. And so I had kind of encouraged and I was like, I had met Coach Mike and
Yeah.
through the in-persons and I was like, I think this would be great for you. Go ahead and like give it a shot. He's and the start of his journey, and it's already been wonderful for him. So I'm really excited to see not only where I continue to go, but like his progress as well has just been, it's been really nice for both of us to kind of get back in the swing and we hold each other accountable. Like, hey, did
Yeah.
you get your steps in today? Have you
Yeah.
done this? What are our weekends looking like? When are you going? When am I going? So
Yeah.
that's been great.
Yeah. I'm sure if there's some ladies listening to this, or even maybe some guys that want their wives to join, or in their heart, like, man, that'd be cool. What was the shift like before one person, right? Just you were kind of on, I don't want to say a fitness kick, but you're like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Would you feel like it's easier having your partner be part of that journey too?
I think so. It's just, just from the meals that we're cooking, from, the way that, we just live our lives, and do
Mhm.
things a little bit differently. Just the mindfulness of having somebody else with you on your journey, I think is great. Just the support system.
Yeah.
It's nice to be able to go to the gym together and,
Yeah.
do those things together and push each other as well, but not have to be like, I'm your fitness person.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't want to be your fitness person, but I
Yeah.
want to be your cheerleader and your support system.
Yeah.
So that's been really nice.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up. I think that's a really important point to touch on because, I'm a coach. Sometimes I feel bad for my wife because she's into fitness, but nowhere near what I am. And trust me, over the years, and I try to tell couples I talk to, I'm like, don't be your spouse's trainer. It's usually not a good idea. And I've seen it work 0.1% of the time. It usually just makes you angry at each other. But it sounds like, you have your complete separate program, your husband has his complete separate program, but you also come together and being like, we care about our health and fitness. Like you doing your thing. It's like working, right? You have a different job
Right.
than your husband. Like you did your work today, and you come together when, you have that time. And it's kind of that same concept. And I think that I've just seen that be like the healthiest thing because you will share some things that are identical. Like, hey, what are we eating tonight? Right? The
Hmm.
foods are going to be the same, maybe the portion sizes, but it sounds like both of you have kind of cultivated that just healthy lifestyle, and it's just coming together and a little bit easier. And yeah, you've done awesome. And it's a hats off to you because as a coach, we can guide you, we can support you, we can educate you, we can kind of motivate you, but we can't do it for you. And so, you've definitely been putting in the work. You should be super proud of yourself. I know Coach Riley is your hype woman, which she should be.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, it's really great. What would you say to somebody that maybe would be in your position? that you were 8 months ago that is a little bit hesitant and like, getting, and then as I say specifically from like online, because that's where most people are like, I don't know if it could work for me. Like, what would you say to that person that is really scared to jump over the edge and is like, well, I got a husband and I work and I have kids and like, how am I going to make this all work? I don't know if this could work for me.
I think the nicest thing about this program is the relationship piece that you do have online, because the coaches really understand how to make a program fit your needs. And so if you come in and you say, okay, here's really what I can offer. I know that I can do this and this, then that is what the workouts and the program will be built around. And then hopefully you start to see like, oh, okay, this I can do this. I feel better doing this. And then maybe you can increase and you can go from there. But I would say if you are nervous and you are scared, going into it with okay, here's what I can commit to, here's what I need, and then knowing that you're going to have that support and those people checking in on you and pushing you, where it's not just a here's a program, go do it, but here's a program tailored to you, and you have accountability tied into that. I think that really is, just the key to success.
Yeah, I 1000% agree, right? I'm biased, but I think that it's yeah, we want to meet you where you're at, right? And we know too that if we can get you to have like a little win, like lose some weight, like also just belief. Like some
Mm-hmm.
people come in, they go, "Ugh, I'm so busy." I'm like, okay, I get it. What if we start 2 days a week or 3 days a week? But imagine if you did that and you did it for like 3 weeks and you're like, wow, I'm never really this consistent. And you drop 3 pounds. Do you think you're going to be a little more willing or excited to maybe push it a little more every time? Yes, right. And so, yes, we're not going out the gate and being like, you need to do this. We have clients of all different backgrounds and fitness levels and careers. And I think it's a testament to the coaches too. We have really good coaches that are not only experienced in like exercise programming and nutrition, but also mindset. That's a big thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? How to communicate with somebody, how to build a relationship, and then the high level of communication and accountability is very important to us, and that's kind of why we keep our rosters a little bit small, because we know that we don't want to treat Amanda like a number. We want to treat her like a person, and that takes effort. It's more manual work, right? The coach has to go on and ask you questions and get to know you and your lifestyle and your goals. But from everybody I talk to, I mean, it works, right? Like it's worked for you. You've made awesome, awesome progress in the last 8 months. Your husband's done pretty well so far. I'm sure he'll continue to crush it with Coach Mike. Um, and yeah, I'm really grateful to have clients like you guys that are, show up for yourselves. You're dedicated to it. You really embody like putting your health first and prioritizing it. And it's really made me excited to hear that you're finding other groups to kind of like support you, right? Like, yes, I mean, we can only do so much, but your husband and people at work, and like now you're always surrounded by people kind of pushing you and supporting you in that journey. And it sounds like that's been huge for you.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I appreciate you jumping on. This is great insight. I think, whoever watches this, wherever they are, hopefully it kind of gives them some insight into somebody, teacher, mom, wife, and you've done it and you've done a great job. And I think this is honestly probably just the beginning. I know you're going to continue to make really good progress. And I appreciate you taking time out of your day to jump on. And this is super helpful.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're very welcome. We'll talk soon.